Hi, everybody. This is the Baseball Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion, your host, the Hut, and this is another episode of the insane asylum known as WFAN.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha, to the funny farm.
Yes, we are back here at the Baseball Hut 2, the chronicle, the insanity, and the complete total stupidity, and the complete total monkey crap that is produced by WFAN. And before we get into this video, I need you to hit that subscribe button and, of course, comments in the comments section. So there was big baseball news last night when the Mets signed DH extraordinaire JD Martinez to a 1-year, $12 million contract, which a lot of money is going to get deferred. But they're going to be paying him $4.5 million. They waited him out. And to be honest with you, he wanted to sign here. That's been the word, that he really wanted to be here with the Mets, that he was very excited about it. From what I understand, he's got a very good relationship with Dave Stearns, the Mets president of baseball operations. We'll talk about him in this video, obviously. But I think some of the lightweights at the fan have not gotten the message about how you treat the Mets, how you treat our team, America's team, the New York Mets. Most of the guys that are regulars on the station have understood this thing. But maybe one of the lightweights, known as the psycho killer, Chris McMonagle, who is the psycho killer, and I call him the Killa, just so there's no ambiguity where we're going here. This is a guy, you see him down the street, you cross the other side. You see him on the bus, you sit in the back. You sit as far away as possible from him because of how he's not take one nice picture of himself. As you see on the side here, one psychotic picture after another. Well, obviously, if you didn't know, he is a fill-in. And he does the board op, but he's mainly a fill-in. And hopefully he stays a fill-in. There's a reason why he's a fill-in. And he had to have his little comment today on JD Martinez, who the Mets signed to a contract for this season. And now, be honest with you, I was out today running some errands, and I decided, you know what? This was such great news with the Mets. Let me turn on the 10 o'clock show. Because obviously the 10 a.m. show has been the target. Has been the subject. Has been the subject of so many videos. I wanted to see what the Spaz and the Coconut had to say today about JD Martinez. Now, as you know, the Mets have been playing in spring training Brett Baty and Mark Vientos. Mark Vientos had a home run against the Yankees on Friday, and Brett Baty basically lost the game with his glove. Basically, he let the ball play off of him. That's a separate issue moving down the line. And I guess David Stearns had seen that's why he signed Martinez. But I listened to the 10 a.m. show for about less than 5 minutes. The Coconut, also known as Brandon Tierney, and Spaz, is Sal Licata. Sal was not there. So when Tierney came on, he said, give the Mets credit. They did a good job. I'm not really paraphrasing what he said, but he said they did a good job. Fine. And they did, because they waited this player out. He wanted more money up front, and the Mets gave him more money on the back end. And it helps them out. They don't get killed with the luxury tax as much. The rumor was that before they signed him, that they were trying to sign one more player for $10 million for this season, and they signed Martinez with the luxury tax under 10, about $9 million. So this was a very good deal. Very fair deal for the Mets and for Martinez. Now, like I said, one of the mantras of WFAN over the years is whatever the Mets do is wrong. And when the Mets do something right, it's still wrong. Now, the New York Mets have said publicly that they were going to go with the young guys in camp. That they were going to take a long, hard look with them going into the season, and that was what they were going to do. And they're still, as far as I know, they're still doing that. But they said, in particular, Mets ownership, and Steve Cohen said that, and of course David Stern said that they will look to make improvements if they can around the edges, and just in general. Now, this was a big move for the Mets because he's a big RBI guy, and Martinez. But like I said, and this has been well received with pretty much everybody, the media, the fans. I tell you, I did a live stream last night on the Baseball Hut. People were so excited last night. I was excited. Everybody in the chat was very happy. And, however, during the morning program, mid-morning program, the lightweight known as the Psycho Killer, Chris McMonagle had to throw cold water on it. And I don't understand his point. Again, there's a reason why he's a fill-in. He's not a star. There's really no stars at the fan anymore. They're all gone. But here's from Odyssey.com. C-Mac, JD Martinez signed a straight-up deviation from the Mets' plan. Hey, Psycho Killer, you don't have the sort of... I don't think your listening comprehension is all too good. The Coconut opened Friday's show praising the Mets for adjusting to what they saw in the spring training by signing JD Martinez for pennies on the dollar, but the Psycho Killer filling in for the Spaz wants to know what happened to the plan. Okay, the plan was initially to get the likes of Mark Vientos and Brett Baty as many at-bats as possible, as David Stearns and company sought to build a foundation for the future. So while the move from Martinez helps the Mets now, the Psycho Killer says the long-term plan seems to be altered already. I would mention, again, they said that they were going to play them, but they said that they could find ways to improve the club. They're going to do that. They both said that. What's the problem? They have a plan. This doesn't hurt the long-term health of the club. It's $4.5 million this year for a big RBI guy. What's the problem? Well, when the Mets don't do anything right, and when they do right, it's wrong. What happened to the plan? The Psycho said. It was an all-time great plan. We talked about this plan forever. They were all pleased with the plan. The fans bought into the plan. Everybody was big on the plan, the Killer said. Now, where do Vientos at-bats come from? Again, they said they would change things if they felt they needed to, where they could find improvements. Stearns was going to come in and get a real feel for this organization, a glimpse at this young talent. That's what we've been spoon-fed for months. And you tell me now, if a couple of spring training at-bats under his belt, and by the way, he has hit 4 home runs, now it's 5. Suddenly we're ready to pivot from the plan. This is a small part. Mark Vientos is not, and Brett Baty, from what I could tell, are not guys center of your ball club. Okay? And if you, the Psycho Killer, think that, then you don't know what you're talking about. But most of these guys don't know what they're talking about. The Coconut countered that the signing of Martinez was a simple change of plan after the Mets didn't like what they saw from Vientos in spring training. But the Psycho Killer says this is more than that. Now Vientos might not even get a roster spot. That is not true. Because if you listen to Stearns, he said if they signed a big player, everybody knew he was talking about Martinez, that he would still have a roster spot. Asshole. Maybe he's on the roster, maybe he's not. But he said he was still here. That they're not going anywhere. So much for the plan. What a great plan. It lasted all of a month. Let me tell you something. These two players, okay, they're not going to be stars. It's a straight-up deviation. Deviation is another way of saying a lie. So again, the Mets did the right thing, but it's wrong. Because why? Because an idiot on the radio said so. And the fact is, you got to be careful with him. You see him down the street, folks, going the other direction. I'm not joking. This isn't a pivot. It's a lie. When you say deviation, that's another way of saying it's a lie. So he's basically saying that David Stearns lied about it, that Steve Cohen lied. If you're in a situation where you think you need to improve on, you make the improvements. You don't care what some lightweight like this clown has to say. And the best thing the Mets can do, and I would mention this, David Stearns is a smart guy, okay? I think we kind of know that. They've belittled him, saying he's the smartest guy in the room. The guy in the morning has basically said that he should be fired after 4 days on the job. So this is why they are seething. Okay, let me tell you something about them at the Fan. They are not happy that they've had to be fair with the Mets. They're not happy that social media, and particularly this channel, is steamrolling right over them. Okay, and I would mention, the last video I had done on them had about 160 views. Some idiot came in saying, only 160 views. All I need is one of them to watch a video and to have influence. That's the power of social media. Doesn't matter how many views you get on a video. What matters is if you feel that you're right about a message and you follow through on it. Okay? And I'm just telling you, I know them like the back of my hand. I like to give them the back of my hand, but that's besides the point, considering how they talk about our team, the Mets, America's team. And they are America's team. And the reason I call them America's team is because everybody wants to know what's going on with them. Bad, good, bad, or indifferent. Everyone has comment to say. Everyone has something to say about the club. One way or the other. There's no in between with the Mets. So that's why I know that people care about it. Even the haters care. They love it when Mets do badly, but they love the Mets deep down because they see a little bit of themselves in that. So the more obsessive they are about how much they hate the Mets, that's how much they love the Mets. Never forget that. The haters love the Mets because they see a lot of themselves in that. Where there's this struggle and all this bad stuff happening, and they get them, and we just dust ourselves off and we carry on. And that's how people are. So that's why the Mets are America's team, because that's how people look at themselves like that too. So, but the Psycho Killer is a lightweight. He's trying to make a name for himself. I would mention again, I'm the most influential person when it comes to dealing with the Fan and how they talk about the Mets. I don't give a shit what they say about the Yankees or those other teams. I really couldn't care. What they say about the Jets, the Giants, Knicks, the Rangers, Islanders, I don't care. I'm a Mets fan, and they're going to treat my team fairly, and if not, I'm going to steamroll them, which I've done since August, and I'm going to continue to do that. Now, if the Psycho Killer doesn't learn his lesson, which I did a video on him back in the summer, I'll be back, but he's never on the radio. Nobody cares about him. Everybody yucks it up when I make fun of the Spaz and his partner, the Coconut. And this is another video on the insane asylum known as WFAN.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha, to the funny part.